We are discussing chapter number 2, diversity and discrimination. The question and answer on diversity and discrimination. We have to match these. First is, two surgeons were sitting down to lunch when one of them made a call on the mobile phone. And we can match it with the third one, to speak with her daughter who had just returned from school. These are the statements in a way that challenges the stereotype. Okay. The boy who won the drawing competition went to the dais on a wheelchair to collect his prize. One of the fastest athletes in the world suffers from chronic asthma. People think that who are suffering from asthma, they may not be able to run, or because it involves a lot of breathing. But this is how we challenge stereotype. She was not that well off, but had a dream to become an astronaut, which she did. So eventually, if you have big dreams, and there are certain people, certain way God brings them to help us, and we eventually become what we want. So we have to have big dreams. No disability, no stereotyping can stop us from becoming what we are or what we want to. So this one, two surgeons were sitting and one called her daughter. So many people have formed a stereotype that people living in cities have influential jobs. They are surgeons. They're busy and they don't give time to their family. But it is not the case. This example proves that feelings for the family are universal. You go across any part of the world, and even if the person is surgeon, he wanted to talk to her daughter. Then the boy who won the drawing competition, he went on a wheelchair. So this challenges the stereotype that crippled children are good for nothing. But the truth is that they have only one or probably two defective organs, but they can still use their mind and talent and win prizes like this boy. For this one, asthmatic athlete, this challenges the stereotype that chronic asthma patients cannot run fast and take part in sports. But he showed this, and he is one of the fastest athletes in the world. Then she had a dream and she actually became an astronaut. So this challenges the stereotype that only influential and high class people can dream big. But in this case, even poor people can dream big and they can prove themselves. How can the stereotype that girls are a burden on their parents affect the life of a daughter? Imagine this situation and list at least 5 different aspects that this stereotype can have on the way daughters get treated in the house. Girls have been treated as a burden, boj, since time, in memory, means from ancient times. Even today, their condition have not changed. Whether it is home or outside, they are not given equal opportunity. The mental setup of the parents is such that it never accepts the birth of a daughter wholeheartedly. And this, I am talking only about the Indian subcontinent and those you can say communities which are still under development. I'm not talking about the developed countries. There, the girls and boys, they are equal. No one has thought, and they didn't ever even bother about the genders. Everyone works, everyone lives, and they are having equal opportunity. So as a result, the girl's life is badly affected. So we have 5 different list of 5 different effects of this stereotyping that can have on the way daughters get treated. First is, girls would feel discouraged and they would not concentrate on their studies. All their dreams to achieve separate identity in the society would eventually be shattered. And sometimes girls are not allowed to join any school or colleges. And this attitude, this ruthless attitude of the parents towards their daughters ruin their life, and they feel helpless even in their parents' house. Then even marriage does not bring fortune to the girls all the time. Some in-laws, they prove themselves good by giving proper treatment to the newly married girls. But most of the time we find that they are ill-treated in their in-laws' house, and they are subject to exploitation. What does the Constitution say with regard to equality? Why do you think it is important for all people to be equal? See, our Constitution is a nicely, finely planned and brainstormed kind of document. So this Constitution provides the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the basis of either religions, race, caste, sex, or region. So it is important for all people to be equal, because only then our society would develop in a true sense in term. So it is our right to be treated equally. See, it is our right, not a privilege, it's a right. So it is our right to be given due respect, it is our right to be given equal opportunities. So in absence of all these, our life would not be so great. Our personality would be suppressed. Therefore, we need equality so that we may go ahead without any hindrances in our lives. We may prove ourselves helpful in the development of the society and eventually the great nation where we belong, our country. Sometimes people make prejudiced or they make prejudiced biased comments in our presence. We are often not in a position to do anything about this, because it is difficult to say something right then and there. Divide the class into the groups and each group discuss what they could be in one of the following situations. Now these are certain points. A friend begins to tease a classmate because he is poor, he is not wealthy. You are watching TV with your family and one of them make a comment about a particular religious community, say for any minority community. So children in your class refuse to share their food with a particular person because they think he or she is dirty. Someone tells you a joke that makes fun of community because of their accent or how they look, or whatever the reason is. So some boys make remarks about girls not being able to play games as well as them. So you have to discuss this in the class, what the different groups have suggested about these situations, and also talk about the problems that can come up when raising the issue. See, before I answer this question, there are things that once these situations are being posed, people would talk big words. That means, okay, we are against this and we should not do this. But in practice, in reality, those who are speaking these big words, they have to follow it. Means you just don't have to give a very nicely postulated sentences, but you have to actually do it in reality, in community. You have to respect everyone. This is what is required. Okay, so first one is, I would try to convince my friend that being a poor is not a crime or not a matter of laughter. Therefore, he should not tease the classmate. Instead, he should take care of his dignity and self-respect. Then the second one, about a religious community prejudiced comment, I would stop him or her to do that. And not only I will stop him, but I'll quote the Constitution and try to convince him that what you are doing is actually illegal. And these thoughts should be permanently Control, Alt, Shift, Delete from your mind. Then children to share food with other dirty person, supposedly dirty person. So I would advise my classmate to be friendly with one and all. See, no one is dirty. Sometimes poor people, they don't get enough resources, so they can't clean themselves. But if they are good people, you should be good to them. Then someone tells a joke about a community. I would not get involved in a joke and would proceed from there immediately. Well, this is not actually the solution. You need to, in a calm way, in a kind way, try to make the other person understand that making a joke of a community or making a joke of a certain category of people is not a good idea. Everyone has their own preferences, and the beauty of a country or a society is to imbibe them, to be with them, and to live with them without any prejudice or making jokes or laughter. Now, some boys make remarks about girls not being able to play games as well as them. I would try to convince those boys that girls are in no way less efficient than their male counterparts. I would give examples of Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams, who did what many men could not think of. So you can give an example of the police department. If you go to Western countries, the police departments have various females. They are doing all those jobs that involve physical labor, that involve a lot of standing, kneeling, bending, and all other things which are not, by prejudice, which are not supposed to be done by women or girls. If you give them equal opportunity, I'm sure you can tell that. I'm sure that women and girls can do anything which is expected out of them. There is no thing in the world which a women can't do. That I assure you. Choose the correct option to complete the statements given below. The number of major religions in the world, there are 8 major religions, and you will be surprised to know that all these religions are practiced in India. An important reason why Muslim girls do not attend school or drop out from school after a few years, and this is the poverty. This is the poverty. Because if a person is poor, then how can he or she send anyone, not even Muslim girls, Muslim boys cannot go to school. You have seen all the rickshaw pullers, all the mechanics of cars and bikes, and the thela selling the vegetables and fruits. They all are Muslims. Muslims are, they don't get any opportunity, or they don't find opportunity or a will of government so that they can prosper. They don't find it actually. That is why they are actually equivalent or lower than the scheduled caste in India. Dash community was treated as untouchables in Bombay Presidency. So Mahar community, to which the great Dr. Bala Saheb Ambedkar belong, they are treated as untouchables. Dash is known as the leader of the Dalits. So Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, he was the leader of Dalit, and he was the orchestrator, or he was the formulator of our constitution. India is a secular country. What does it mean? Please read these and I'll get to the answer. The answer is, people of different religions have freedom to practice their religion with any discrimination. And we have seen that when the church when bell rings, when there is azan, and when there is gurbani and Mata ki chauki in mandir, we all feel pleased. We all feel happy, and the feeling we have, everyone knows that. Some people would really not agree with me, but most of the people, I'm saying 99% people, they know that the secular fabric of our country is the strength we have. Fill in the blanks with appropriate word to complete each sentence. Dash fought for the right of the Dalits. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, he fought for the rights of Dalit. The upper caste did not give the so-called untouchables of the lower caste. These are called achoots, and I really want this word to be away from the dictionary as well. This is so bad thing that our community, that is a genuine and you can say literate community or the country is still having this word being spoken out. If you do something to put other people down, you are discriminating or prejudiced or biased against them. Biased against them. People usually form certain, this is attitude and opinions about others when they are not like them. They are not like them. That stops us from looking at each person as a unique individual with her own special qualities and skills that are different from others. Stereotype, you can say a kind of biasing which we have. We already are fed by our parents or, our community that, okay, this is what you should think about others. But you have your own thinking, you have your own IQ. You must see what is going on. Everyone is similar. If they are following their own faith or doing what they want to do, you cannot judge them. If you are judging them, then you are not no better than bad people. State whether these sentences are true and false. We have more than 600 languages that are people's mother tongue, and this is true. We feel secure with people who are very different from us. This is not very true, but we should. Dalits are referred to as scheduled tribe. No, they are called as scheduled castes. Tribes are basically those people who are still following the old custom. They live at a certain place, they follow certain tradition, and they are not very much integrated with the mainstream. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar belonged to the Mahar caste, which was considered untouchable. This is true. Government jobs are open to the people who come from upper caste. This is false. Matching skill. Match the items in column A correctly with those given in column B. Fixing people in one image. What is this? And this is nothing but you are doing something which is not expected out of you, and this is stereotyping. Judging other people negatively, and this is prejudice. Treating someone less fairly than others, and this is discrimination. The groups who were placed at the bottom of the caste ladder, and see, I'll match this with the untouchables. Treating some people fairly less than others, this is discrimination. Judging other people negatively, prejudice. People in one image, this is discrimination. And the groups who were placed at the bottom of the class ladder, and they should be B. So let us make it as B. Okay, there is a correction. Okay. How do we feel in the company of the people who are very much like us? So we feel safe. Generally, this is our tendency to feel and secure in the company of such people. Define the term prejudice with an example. So prejudice means to judge other people negatively or see them inferior. For instance, if we think that Hindi is the best language and other languages are not important, we are judging others with respect to the language negatively. And this shouldn't be a case. Everyone has a language. Everyone would speak in the way they want, they are comfortable with. How do parents often console boys when they fall and hurt themselves? They say, boy, don't cry. So parents say, boys are brave, they don't cry. But everyone is made up of same skin, same flesh, same blood. So everyone gets hurt, and they are bound to, there is a natural tendency to be crying if you're hurt. Mention one drawback of stereotypes. See, stereotyping prevents us from doing certain things that we might otherwise be good at. Some people may experience both kinds of discrimination. What do you think by both kinds of discrimination? Now, these both kinds means that some people are poor and they belong to groups whose culture is not valued. So this is two-way discrimination they are encountering or they are subjected to. Mention some activities which are considered less valued. Activities like cleaning, washing, cutting hair, picking garbage are considered less valued. And as I said, I don't want to quote again and again. If you go to the developed countries, you will see that these kind of jobs are well respected. Even if you have to go to person who is a barber, you have to take proper appointment, and he takes around $25 to $30 to have a hair, to for a single haircut. And this is how the respect they have. Everyone is respected, devoid of or any job he or she does. Who was Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar? So he was a noted Dalit leader. He was actually a barrister, did his law from UK. He himself was a Dalit and fought for the rights of the Dalits. And our constitution is he is one of the key member of who formulated the constitution, Indian constitution. What is it that can unite all Indians? So it is the equality of all persons that can unite all Indians. Only this equality is the key. If you think everyone is equal, then you will feel happy. I'm not saying that others will feel happy. If you feel equality, then your life will be good. What responsibility has been placed on the government by the constitution? Now, it is the responsibility of the government to take specific steps to realize right of equality for poor and other marginal communities. Those communities which are, for so many years have not received those chances that they should. India is a secular country. What does this mean? Secular means that people of different religions and faith, they have freedom. See, they have all freedom to practice and follow their religion without any fear of discrimination. What does the first page of our constitution proclaim? Now, all Indians are entitled to equality of status and opportunity. This is the first page of constitution. What do you mean by difference and prejudice? The difference is actually the variation of use of language or status or religion or educational background or geographical setting. It is natural. But prejudice is a biasing. It is an idea which is affected with negative feeling, untoward feeling for those who are different from us. What is demerit of stereotype view? Stereotype is a negative quality. It does not allow us to think or view a person as a unique individual. We ignore all his good qualities. We don't think that about the individual beyond the set image. Otherwise, she is maybe good. How does discrimination occur? See, discrimination is a negative aspect in a social setup. So it occurs if we act on prejudices or stereotypes which are fed to us without even challenging them. We accept them. So it promotes ignorance of particular class or individual in a society. Such class or individual is debarred from all the opportunities. Differentiate between inequality and discrimination. So inequality and discrimination, these are two different concepts, but they are very much related, closely related to one another. So inequality may be difference between the caste, creed, culture, religion, region, economic status, or educational background. Everyone differs from others in the society. So discrimination takes place when one acts against an individual or a community on the basis of difference. A whim or a biasing or a prejudice works behind it. So if one tries to exploit others individual who is down in status in any way, it is called the discrimination. So that discriminated individual or community is devoid of the common opportunity or facility provided by the society and the government. So it is not at all healthy for a good society or a good country. What are constitutional provisions for establishing equality in Indian society? Do you think these are enough? See, right from the beginning of the social setup, India has been a victim of inequality and discrimination. Society has divided us in four main castes: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. All the opportunities are confined to the upper class. So some of the castes are considered as low, so low that people even scared for their shadow. So it created great disparity among the people in the society. So with the spread of education and consciousness against this evil system are aroused, after getting independence, the constitution makers had strong arguments against this system. So it was declared a crime in our constitution. See, this is a crime So it was declared that the constitution would provide equality and right against discrimination of the citizens of India. So reservation was provided for those discriminated people in every field of life. But still, it is a fact the system persists. You know, if you actually go to the society or you live in a society, you are social, you would understand that this still is only constitutional provisions are not enough. It is observed that even after reservation, these people still lay behind. They prefer earning their livelihood than going to school. So a compulsory education system should be developed. A mass consciousness is needed, otherwise we can't hope more. So these were the question and answer of this topic. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.